All right, so here, this is what I'm going to tell you we're all going to do right now. Just kidding. These are the topics we're not going to talk about, which are lawmakers, police governor warned in May. Oh, we did talk about that. Supreme Court declines to hear a marijuana case challenging the DEA's restrictive classification. It almost has a little bit of continuity for the Michigan case, where our office and the Cannabis Council are suing on behalf of John Sinclair to unschedule marijuana. But it isn't, because the state of Michigan legalized marijuana and is selling it recreationally and collecting taxes. The same can't be said for the federal government. We'll talk about that next week. Investigation Detroit Department Drug Unit finds fraud and corruption. Okay, like here's we could. I got 20 days to do on that. Home of Medicine employees allege toxic workplace environment. Senate Bill 858 introduced by Senator Barrett, a bill to amend the Emergency Managers Act. Jim was going to rant about that for a little bit. How are different types of medical cannabis working for different diseases? I do want to rant a little bit. I want to make Eric stay and listen to this, and I can do it in 13 minutes or less. Jim, what is the story of Senate Bill 858, and why are we so outraged?
Yeah.
Well, so here's...
Tell us, Jim.
You know me, that I'm an independent, and I like to think that I'm a realist in most things. Some people may agree with me, some people may not, and that's okay.
Rationalist. Call yourself a rationalist.
But the allegation that's been tossed around lately by the Democratic Party in Lansing is that the Republican Party had, since March, to codify the governor's executive orders into law so that we wouldn't run into the issue that we're now running into with the Supreme Court finding the 1945 law that she was basing her EOs on unconstitutional. Senate Bill 858 was introduced back in April, and it codified the majority of her EOs into law. And it was introduced by the Republican legislature. It was sent to the governor on May 20th, and the governor vetoed it. The governor cited the reason she vetoed it was because, or I don't believe, this is what I've been told. I should say it's secondhand information, so I don't know this to be complete fact, but the bill established expiration dates for the EOs. And the argument was that the legislature would continue to legislate, and as the pandemic evolved, that they would continue to amend the law. So the reason that I'm upset about this is because the Democrats have cited over and over again that nothing was done. Well, something was done, and it was passed in both chambers, and it was vetoed by the governor. So again, what I would ask for from our legislature is to stop it and to stop blaming one another. We are in a pandemic. I can tell you, my children are both in online school this year, but I got an email from the elementary school today saying after a week of being in session in this Track A, Track B program, they've had their first COVID student-related test come back positive. And at the end of the day, we have bigger problems to address than who did what 6 months ago. Let's focus on today. Let's focus on moving forward.
Yes, sir.
And for God's sake, stop the blame game. It's not interesting.
It doesn't solve anything.
No, we need you guys to work together, and we need you to lead us through this epidemic and show us, or this pandemic, and show us how we're going to get through the winter, because at this rate, I'm really concerned that they're going to end up talking about shutting the state down again in some way, shape, or form. And that is not going to be good for anybody.
No, it's not.
No, definitely not.
Even the WHO and the CDC say that lockdowns are not good for people.
No. We have only just begun to see the real, fallout with emotion, with people's mental health and just a whole slew of things. Their businesses failing, leading to divorces, the kids that are home with abusive parents, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, come on now.
I was in the dollar store one day, and this woman was talking to ran into one of her friends, and she's like, "Yeah, Bill just has Jimmy over every day. They just sit on the couch drinking and watching TV.
Yeah. Yeah, she's about ready to
I
kick
think
Jimmy in the butt.
I think there was a lot of that going on, and I'm guessing there was probably a lot of that going on during the quarantine.
Yeah, well, you know, the unemployment rate for it's not that great for the the folks that had been most affected by it.
No, people are still out of work.
Yeah. So there are not only did the unemployment benefits go, as we know, they went from 600 to what, they cut it off and then they gave them a 300 or something like that. I don't remember, but it's still it's starting to affect everybody.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all.